Someone here is a workaholic. YouTuber Adrian DeValle posted this security footage captured at 2 in the morning in December of 2013. This is what they discovered on their security camera. Watch the door in the hallway in the top left corner. I can't really tell if this is a closed door opening or an open door closing. Either way, no one is standing in its wake. I'm not sure what to make of this. I think a ghost may have just let itself in or out. YouTuber Joey Official is staying in the haunted Queen Mary in room B340. Watch what happens next.
I'll never unsee that.
Ashley here. And get some good sheep.
What is going on? Oh my god. What the hell is happening?
Room B340 has significant paranormal activity dating back to 1967.
What's going on? Oh my god. What the hell is happening?
Not only does the activity not look staged, but I'm sold that this place is haunted based on their sheer terror. What would you do if someone was stalking you? That's a decision YouTuber Near Shadows had to make while on the scariest Randonautica of their lives. At this site, they come across a golden box amongst some trees and brush.
What is it?
No way.
It's the whole problem.
Come grab this.
I got gloves.
What is this?
When they lift it, they see it's bound with tape and fishing line.
Babe, it's like a weird box that's binded up.
I kind of see.
It has fishing line on it.
It has fishing.
Look at.
I don't want to. Oh,
Look at this.
oh my.
You guys see that?
They examine it and discover something shocking.
Whoa.
What?
This says 50th anniversary on it.
50th anniversary.
Look, 50th anniversary. Not kidding.
Oh wow. What does that mean?
Not kidding. The art.
When they open it up, this is what they find.
We're gonna get into this. What the heck? It's a balloon. It's a balloon that has like 61, 16.
Balloons.
It sounds like there's rocks or something.
There's rocks on pebbles under there, yep.
What the heck?
With something inside them.
Do you feel anything in that one?
Yeah.
That one doesn't sell. That one sells empty.
There's little pieces of something in
Let me
it.
see.
Like, it almost sounds like, it almost feels like bullets or something. It's kind of weird.
And this clue?
It's a piece of paper. 6th Street. It's like a ripped up portion of a map. And it says 6th Street. Babe, we're on 6th Street.
When they open the balloon, they uncover a mystery.
What is that? It's a little bead, and it has the number 2 on it.
What do these numbers mean?
Good close-up. Pause this and...
They then notice some people watching them.
Who's this person walking over
Are
here?
they coming over here?
Come on, guys. Some freaking...
Please don't come over here.
Oh...
But they realize they're probably not here for them.
What was that?
I'm not touching it. Could be drugs in this neighborhood.
They open up the second balloon.
Oh,
Sure they're beads.
these are big beads.
That's what she said.
Would you? Oh no. Drop the bead.
The letters must mean something too, but what?
AZS.
Near Shadows continues to follow this mystery of a missing persons case in their next video. I'm curious as to what these clues mean. I assume the girl who went missing was 16, judging by the balloon, and this is the 50th anniversary since she went missing. But as to the numbers and letters, I guess we'll have to wait for the series' next installment. This haunted exorcist house is no joke. The YouTube team, Dark Arts TV, ventures inside this dark place in an attempt to shed light on its truth.
Whoa, I just seen.
Whoa, what the?
I literally just seen that.
What was it?
It's a fucking anomaly just.
Yeah, what was that?
Did you see that just there?
It went
Like a
like,
line and it went.
Well, I didn't see what they saw. There is a strange shadow anomaly that passes upward as they describe it. Here it is. Slow down. Watch carefully. It doesn't sync with their own movement, so I assume it's not their shadow. Is it a shadow figure? I think it could be. Or maybe it's the shadow of an evil entity. Number 8. Twins and paranormal investigators Kim and Roxy from a channel called Twin Travel 03 go ghost hunting at the Stanley Hotel in Napanoke, New York. Their ghost hunting app seems to constantly activate when held over one of the creepy dolls. The other two dolls, although creepy, don't seem to set it off at all.
Nothing. Nothing. This little lady.
Kim and Roxy also get a strange paranormal readout in a closet that even one of the employees finds strange enough to comment on.
An old-time phone. There is no phone, but we still hear it ring. And you're getting K2 hit, aren't you?
Yeah, I just did.
Huh.
And when they tell the ghost to take a step back, it seems to obey their commands.
Back away so it goes down to single green. Thank you.
But the creepiness is only just beginning.
Can you move the ball, please?
Oh my god, I have chills.
Can you move the ball, please?
It's moving, thank you.
If you are not a believer of the paranormal, then tell me how this can happen with a kid's toy that is filled with nothing more than air.
Again, please.
A YouTuber named Sonia Said is making a vlog about life in general when she decides to take a rest in the park on a nice Sunday. Big mistake.
I have some guy staring at me in front of me. He's been like holding the tree.
Notice how he lines himself perfectly out of her sight. He could come from behind and she wouldn't be able to see it coming.
What am I doing? You guys are about to see him right now. And I am gonna leave. What a weirdo. There he is. So weird. People are so creepy.
He is definitely facing her way when she decides that she's had enough.
And now we get up and go.
He's still facing her direction long after she goes, arms innocently behind his back like nothing's wrong.
So creepy. People are so creepy.
Now, if this stranger's behavior doesn't make you say bruh, I don't know what will. Abdullah Al-Anbari is followed by what he describes as a ghoul when he explores an old neighborhood that was abandoned long ago. His stalker appears to be a silhouette, even under a high-powered light that brightens everything around it.
Bismillah.
It could be someone wearing long flowing robes, or it could be a shadow person. Maybe it's just me, but the ghoul looks much bigger here at 5 minutes and 54 seconds when he sees it again. When it pokes around the corner at 8 minutes and 3 seconds, it seems much larger than the average sized person. Even from down this long hill, you can see this figure is indeed tall and strong looking too, as it lumbers ahead. It looks like the creature is going to follow him all the way home, if he lets it, so Abdullah recites a phrase, at which point the ghoul recoils from the sacred words, or perhaps more realistically, ducks under the window and is not seen again. Was this all planned, or did a phantom really spontaneously follow him? This giant snake is so long that it takes a full 20 seconds to record its full length, and when the camera person finally reaches the other end of the snake, they suddenly become prey. The reptile is already facing them and looks to have been waiting for them for the whole time. The camera person only has a few scant moments to let out a startled yelp before the reptile lunges straight at their face. Check out its color and markings and leave a comment saying what kind of snake you think this is. I'm hoping we can figure out what part of the world this took place in, and if the snake was venomous, in which case I doubt this person survived. While visiting an abandoned mental hospital in Allentown, Pennsylvania, Spirit Realm investigations captured what they believe is an apparition on camera. Watch the bottom right window followed by the middle windows. Did you see that? Something seems to peek out and then shift between these two windows. To me, the shape in the bottom right window is convincing. It looks like a figure peeking out and then vanishing, but I think that could just be a reflection of light as the camera moves. It does seem to move in pace with the camera's movement, but the first one doesn't. That's for sure a legit apparition peering out at us. A paranormal crew communicated with numerous unearthly entities in this haunted place. Published by Paranormal Voyages in January of 2022, the crew first records a disembodied voice that they don't seem to hear in the moment.
Yeah.
A moment later, while they're communicating through the spirit box, something appears over one of their shoulders. They then hear what sounds like a scream.
It's like a scream. Yes. It's a scream.
Oh, that was disembodied.
That sounded like it was disembodied to me.
It's a scream.
The spirits tell one of the crew to move forward.
Something's telling me for you to move forward a little more.
Oh,
What?
what the heck is that? Hear that?
Whoa. Oh.
I want to move forward.
Later, while using a Kinect, an anomaly is detected. After being bombarded with questions, the spirits have a question for the crew.
But why? Oh, no. Oh my, you hear that whisper? But why? But why? They asked for a baby.
Yeah.
And we said no, and it goes, but why?
While they continue to communicate, one of the crew feels a sharp pain in his heart.
What? Jeez. My heart just started hurting.
You alright?
Man, I think that was like a sharp pain.
Back with the Kinect, another anomaly makes its presence known. What do all these spirits want with the living? Maybe if we listen closely, we'll hear it. A very similar sounding shriek to the so-called cougar. This one claims the sound is coming from none other than a monster from traditional Latin America folklore known as La Llorona. According to legend, La Llorona was the unloved mother of her 2 sons. Her husband loved his sons more than her and also had an affair with another woman, causing La Llorona to break. She is said to have taken the lives of her 2 boys in a river in a rage, following them in grief by taking her own alongside their bodies. Now she wanders the earth in search of the souls of her sons. The terrifying wailing of her grief is heard throughout Latin America. Those who hear her cries are said to face misfortune or even have their lives taken, so maybe just to be on the safe side, turn down the volume for this one. Published to YouTube in September of 2018, the horrifying demonic scream at the start of the video definitely doesn't sound human. In fact, it makes you want to urge whoever is filming to get someplace safe, fast. Instead, he films outside on the rain-filled streets at night as La Llorona screeches demonically in an animalistic cry. Shortly after, a more human-like women's weeping is heard. The man approaches the phantom voice in the darkness. It's difficult to make out a figure in all this, but he speaks to her, and she responds, which makes one think this is a real human woman making these sounds, not La Llorona after all.
¿Tienes dulce? ¿Tu esposa?
After a while of the man chatting back and forth with her and then answering his radio, the woman falls silent. Barry in the comments says, "I understand Spanish. She seems to have multiple personalities. Was that inhuman sound made by a human person? Someone with multiple personalities? Perhaps someone possessed? Or is this La Llorona in the flesh?" Is this cat talented, or is it possessed? Published by Darrell Zand in May of 2012, this couple captured their cats acting out of character, crawling between the upper door frames near the ceiling like some crazy trapeze artist. As the couple is filming, a mysterious, vibrant blue streak flies toward the camera. The cameraman sees it in the moment and comments on it.
Which thing they eat?
Yeah, that was weird.
Was that a ghost orb? Some in the comments certainly think so, but most think the cat was scared beyond measure, not possessed. The cat even appears to watch the strange orb as it flies across the room. What do you think? Scared, possessed, or something else altogether? A YouTuber named Sydney Ghost Hunter records this strange noise at 3 a.m. It's definitely not his cat. Now, here's the weird part. You'd think this was the noise of a wild animal, but Sydney Ghost Hunter says he did not hear anything in real life, and I believe him because his cat never so much as looks up. A scary video recovered from WhatsApp begins with an evil laugh and ends with a scream. I'm not sure what they've caught on camera. Some kind of twisted half-torso with a demented laugh, it would seem. The strange form leaves the terrified man screaming, and as he runs, a chair moves out on his own with no one under the table, and no jump cuts or other editing tricks that I can make out. A group of neighborhood kids from Algeria decide to rush the local haunted house, reasoning that the ghost inside can't get them all. Someone tell me what's going on here. I think they might be nervous and start to pray.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. أعوذ بالله من كلمات وش ذيك؟ اصبر 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 وراه.
Their words seem to have successfully riled up something as they gather excitedly to see what's behind this wall.
اصبر 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 شوف وش كاين هي، راه كاين حاجه مرة جاب لي ربي قشتو بيه.
You'll never believe the weird things they've caught on tape.
وش كاين هي؟
This still image taken at 3 minutes and 56 seconds shows at best the outline of a shadow figure watching them as they leave. This is some of the best paranormal evidence caught on tape that I've seen in a while. The mysterious figure is standing directly under a window and yet is still covered in darkness. After setting up a camera in her home, YouTuber Kathy Nito turns out the light, and what comes after just might be a ghost. Watch for the white thing once Kathy is distracted.
Oh, turtle done.
Do you see that? Kathy believes this is a ghost. Well, I don't think it's a bug, as it appears to be too large and chaotic to be an insect. I'm not sure if my first thought would jump to the paranormal. It looks more like a spider web or some other flying debris to me. Still, whatever it is, it's creepy. Do you have any ideas as to what this could be? Dennis of Dark Life is about to encounter an aggressive poltergeist in the house of the witch. His cameras capture everything too. First, something starts messing with the cupboard. The demon then grows a bit more aggressive. He seems to be toying with Dennis. Dennis asks many questions of the spirit, and the spirit responds.
Вас она убила? Она сейчас здесь?
When he asks if the spirit needs help, it answers,
Я могу вам чем-нибудь помочь? Нет.
It seems to be following him.
Это вы? Вы сейчас издаете этот звук?
And the knocking gets louder.
Нет.
Again, the spirit reiterates that no one can help him.
Вам кто-нибудь может помочь? Нет.
And finally, Dennis decides that he's in danger and should leave.
Не боюсь, грозит опасность. Да. Я сказал опасность, видимо, да. В общем, все, друзья, я сейчас собираюсь, попрощаюсь позже, когда уже уйдут.
It's clear that this malevolent spirit is taking no prisoners. If I were Dennis, I'd get out of there too. If you think you're safe in your own home, think again. Posted by Call Me Ace here to the Chills Narrator subreddit, the Redditor explains, this is a video of a random guy walking up to my brother's home in Houston, Texas. The stranger flashed their flashlight through my brother's front door window and camera. The video shows a man possibly casing the place. If that is what he's doing, he isn't taking many precautions, as he's not wearing a mask of any kind to hide his identity, nor does he take any notice at first of the security camera that's caught him red-handed. If he was trying to fly under the radar, he's doing a terrible job at it. Not only does he flash a flashlight directly into the potential target's home, but he looks squarely into the security camera, capturing his headshot straight on, right before shining the flashlight into the camera's face too. Redditor Stark Burrito asks, was he pointing the flashlight into the camera to obscure himself? Bit late, buddy. Other Redditors recommended that the homeowner alert other neighbors to the incident, as well as the neighborhood watch and local authorities. It might prevent the unknown person from taking this further. While you may not have to worry about those you know entering into your home, you should definitely worry about randos. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a humanoid figure in the sky. Posted by L. Nelson, Gonering in October of 2017. This mysterious humanoid was caught flying or floating over Sydney, Australia. The sighting lasted all of 5 minutes, with this figure disappearing and reappearing as the camera zooms in and out. What do you think this is? Is it explainable, or could it be something not of this world? I've seen similar videos in the past, and they have never been explained either. Could this possibly be connected? I just know I'd question everything if I looked out my window and saw a floating human in the sky. Seen at a distance, TikToker Jen Us 58 is wondering, what is that? Let's take a look. The figure appears to be running in the beginning and then, mysteriously, stands frozen still. When the driver flashes its lights, the figure starts running again. He gets closer and finds that the figure appears headless. It then disappears into the darkness. But when he returns to his car, he turns to find the ghost has reappeared. So was it a ghost or something else? While I'm pondering that question, most in the comments are wondering why the guy even got out of his car. A father points a camera at his daughter's closet because she is afraid of something in her room. He was probably expecting for it to be nothing, but instead what he's caught on camera after midnight has left him shaken up as she is. She wakes up to a noise from the closet, and then a basketball falls out, half deflated like something had squeezed all the air out. You can clearly see the full closet, and it's not big enough for anyone to hide inside. If this wasn't paranormal, then I'm not sure how it was set up. YouTube team Ghost Theory is returning to this haunted location for the third time. Their first attempt at capturing footage of solo challenges was corrupted. On this occasion, they are again prevented from attempting the solo challenges by the immediate paranormal activity that unfolds in this real-time footage. As they enter, they hear quiet movement in the haunted place. Just as they conclude that it must be branches hitting the house, they hear this. Was that human or spirit?
Somebody has just run out the front door.
As they debate what it was, they're snapped back to reality.
But he's just run out of the fucking door. Okay.
They break out their K2 meter and get a sharp reading.
Don't want to go where the coffin is.
K2. Nothing has moved. Apart from you, actually. No. You're back where you were, and it's still going off.
They search the house and the grounds for the person or being, and although they don't get a visual, you feel that someone or something is there.
Can you see it? The light slowly
Fucking.
Jesus.
That's come from over here.
As they check every nook and cranny of the place, they hear this.
Sorry for the camera work, guys. What the is that? I don't like that. It's like a radio.
No one's gonna go to here.
I give these guys credit for sticking out this investigation after all they've witnessed here. I would have been out of there in the first 5 minutes. It truly seems that something escaped shortly after they entered, and I'm not sure if it was human, animal, or demon. Number 4. Originally posted to YouTube by Dark Pirate Stories in October of 2020, this haunting clip takes you on a walkthrough of the Church of Ghosts in the Czech Republic. The cathedral is full of faceless statues covered in stone cloaks, sitting in the pews. The image is unsettling, but it's meant to be. Lying east of Prague in a small town, this place has been around since the 14th century. When the roof collapsed in 1968, it went abandoned. Some said it was haunted. In a bid to restore it, local resident Peter Kugel and art student Jacob Hadrova teamed up with the latter, creating this eerie installation to draw people and interest to the location. It worked. So far, they've been able to repair the roof, and this location continues to get big attention online. A while back, I analyzed a video of a weird spider with a strange growth under its abdomen. Well, I did some more research and found this video, which finally explains what it was: an egg sac. First, they come out one by one, and within less than 2 minutes, hundreds have burst out. Their mother patiently stands guard until they are all free and then leaps away, leaving behind her brood in the hopes that they will scatter to every room in the household and successfully grow to full size. Some videos have the power to keep us up all night long. As we're drifting off to sleep, they enter into our subconscious, making us sit bolt upright. The fear is real. The fright. This was posted to Reddit with the uploader writing, "My friend is security at the airport, and he saw this through the security cameras." The video shows an American Airlines desk with what appears to be a service door beside it. The airport looks empty. Perhaps the security footage was taken during closing hours. But if it's empty, what makes the door do this? The door swings open aggressively, with no one behind it. These types of doors are usually heavy and secure, and as Astral Cath explains in the comments, are often locked or require a manual code to open, so it's unclear how wind or something natural might have burst the door open like this. So what could it be? Theories in the comments range from a ghost running late for a flight to unequal air pressure. Redditor Steve Mage God points out that there's a slight shadow change before the door flings open. So as usually happens, we've got those who think this is paranormal activity on one side, and the skeptics who suggest this could be readily explained on the other. Which side are you on? Real Victoria is woken up by her cat hissing at something it sees in the bedroom window. The cat goes quiet when she starts recording, but it's definitely focused on some activity outside. She says this creepy looking character was looking in through her window, and he very well may have been, but at 4 seconds he also seems to be looking up and trying to get the attention of someone in the room above him. In fact, I think I hear him shout something and whistle loudly at the beginning of this video. What is he saying here? Eventually, he steps away and out of sight. I guess he either saw the camera, or he finally got the attention of someone in the unit above. Whatever he was up to, having a complete stranger anywhere near where you live at 5 in the morning is oddly terrifying. With that said, I do believe her, and I hope real Victoria stays safe until her lease is up and she can get out of there. This mother is relaxing on the patio when a loud boom startles her pretty badly. No, I said loud. The boom is so large it rocks the camera and briefly lights up the room despite it being in the middle of the day. I really hope Chris knew what he was doing, because that sounded like it was way too close to the house. 3 masked men attempt a daring heist in Sydney, Australia at the Miller Shopping Centre. They are in the middle of taking jewels when literally everyone in the store decides they are not going to take this, and soon the men find themselves running for their lives. Customers and staff join together and chase the men out of the mall. Not even the fact one of the masked men is holding a sledgehammer is enough to hold back the angry vigilante mob. The 3 masked men flee into a red van and speed away with the mob close behind. With so many similar instances caught on video, it's quite a surprise to see everyone join in to chase off the robbers for once. A town by a lake that was opened in the 1950s and had a very dark history. They had an entire arena where dogs were forced to do horrible things and had multiple passings in the town under strange circumstances. It has since been abandoned and is now considered a ghost town with paranormal energy. Steve explores the area with some locals who show him around. While the entire exploration has some seriously creepy vibes, there's 2 parts in particular that are especially frightening. At 12 minutes and 20 seconds, Steve says he caught a demon on camera. Do you see it here?
Right here.
Yes.
Is
And again at 31 minutes and 20 seconds, Steve says more paranormal activity is caught on tape here.
same with this. Even this mirror over here. You can see the reflection of the door and my flashlight, but you can't even see me.
Overall, I would stay far away from that ghost town. Zake Nikoff is exploring the Bower House, an old farmhouse in West Virginia, when he catches something of interest leaning out the window. This gray specter watches over them from afar. If you still don't see it, it's looking to the left and the lighter colored area at the bottom is its right shoulder. Don't worry, if it's too hard to see, Zake didn't see it at first either. His camera passes right over it and doesn't notice until they were already far away. I think it looks like it could be the reflection of a cloud, but at the same time I do agree it looks like it could be the spirit of a person watching them enter, and if it is, it doesn't seem pleased. This woman found her toy doll in a disturbing state, so she contacted YouTuber Luan Mendez to help her.
Ali já, mano. Ô, Simão, tudo bom? Bom, prazer, Luan. Pode entrar? Oi? Alguém aí? Seu marido é o Leandro.
Shared by YouTube channel blah blah, this video is trending in the Arabic-speaking YouTube community.
Mas tá estranho, mano. Olha isso aqui. Tá costurado, parece. A mão tá costurada atrás. Nossa. E tá com uma fralda de criança. Com uma fralda de criança. É. Você comprou desse jeito já? Como que é?
Não, a gente tava passando.
After these guys come to take a look, they find this cellar. They hear something banging on the lid.
É você, boneca?
Ai! A pinga, mano!
Viu? Eu vou entrar.
É a boneca, Luan.
So they climb in to investigate.
Cuidado.
Dá a câmera pra mim, que Júlio. Ai, pô. Tá perto? Nossa, que tá boa. Irmão, a boneca tá aqui.
The doll of horror is inside, but after stepping away from the horror doll for a minute, this happens.
A boneca tá do mesmo jeito. Ai, ai! Cadê a boneca? Cadê a boneca, Pia?
O que foi?
Cadê a boneca? Cadê a boneca? Tava aqui agora! Ué, tava ali, irmão, ó. What?
It disappears. Where did the doll go? Was it possessed by something? Or did some slick soul do this to her? I have a theory. I think the doll was being used as a voodoo doll. That still doesn't explain where it disappeared to. But have no fear, the horror doll always returns.
Tua.
Although you and I were probably not hoping for an encore for this one, no need to write a Yelp review. Just chuck your plate off the table. YouTube channel Behind a Side shares this footage of a poltergeist having a cuppa. Keep an eye on the table in the forefront. Chairs scrape away from the table, and a napkin falls to the floor, but then things get aggressive. This poltergeist is sending back his dinner. Here it is again, close up. The activity appears to happen in sequence. I think the small movements are too jarring to be the air conditioning turning on, or some other explainable disturbance, and the more extreme ones, like the chair moving and the plate flying off the table, are clearly paranormal in my opinion. Number 20. On occasion, don't believe what you see. Sometimes your eyes really can deceive you. TikToker Rebecca explains that a previous video that appeared to show a child at the window in this haunted mansion was actually just a prop. TikTokers urged Rebecca to call the authorities, saying it looked like this individual was being held captive, but when Rebecca zooms in on the window in question, the head is clearly that of a mannequin. Some still find the catch extremely jarring. Kat writes, "You zoomed in and my heart just stopped." Some thank Rebecca for giving viewers closure, while others say it's even scarier knowing it's a mannequin. Real or not, whoever placed this thing here has a dark sense of humor. Three friends are driving down some back roads late at night when they've caught something on video that has people questioning what was on the side of the road.
Oh, no, you don't see that. Oh my god, what is that? It's dog, isn't it? Can you hear that growling?
The creature looks at them as they question whether or not it's been hit and needs their help. While it goes deeper into the forest, they feel like they should get out of the car and check to see if it's all right.
God, I'm really scared. Tom! Where is it? Is it in the bush?
A deep growling sound coming from the woods keeps them from exploring any closer. They are pretty sure this isn't someone's dog, like they thought, but they aren't sure what to do next. That's when the decision is made for them. Run.
It sounds really close. Right, get in the car now, Tom.
The comments and likes for this video were split 50-50 between believers and skeptics. I might have thought this was real if I watched it just one time, but upon closer analysis, it's pretty obvious this was somebody in a creature costume on their hands and knees. When you look at their feet at 22 seconds, there are no claws, and you can tell this is a costume that you step into, or at least that's what I think. Tell me what you make of this bizarre encounter caught on a full moon that night. Is this the sound of a demon? YouTube team Paranormal Nightmare TV series is investigating this evil place. When they manage to capture a crazy noise, just listen. One of the crew is inside, while the others are outside. They both assume the sound came from each other.
What was that? Is that you that screamed?
No, that was you.
No, I didn't scream. That was you.
I swear to that was not me.
I think you just screamed.
No, I swear to
Yeah, that was loud.
Did you just scream?
It didn't so much sound like a scream to me, more like a grunt of some kind. Either way, I would say that has to be demonic. I'm not sure if a low-key jump scare is even possible, but I think I might have found one.
So what are you girls doing up here? Oh, she's talking to you?
The dog looks over because if you look closely, its ear actually moves on its own, or more accurately, like it was grabbed by an invisible hand. The woman claims this was a ghost caught on camera, pulling her dog's ear, but I guess they could have tied a string around the ear. Here's a screenshot of the exact moment it happened at 4 seconds to help us better decide. Look at this small strip and tell me if this was a string or part of the dog's ear. I'm leaning towards fake on this one. It wouldn't be hard to tie a little piece of string around the fur, but with that said, I would appreciate any help confirming this analysis. The YouTube team Ouija Brothers had to end their investigation after this paranormal encounter. They arrive at the abandoned place to find it destroyed.
Oh man, look at it.
Look at that.
Look at the windows all on the top.
Oh no.
They've smashed all the windows on the top.
They smashed some bottom windows, look.
Opened up all the doors, which is handy for us.
Once inside, they attempt to communicate with the spirits, and in doing so, they hear a voice.
Once, and that can mean no.
Your phone just said something, didn't it?
Here it is again.
Once, and that can mean no.
Your phone just said something, didn't it?
And they keep hearing voices, although these aren't being picked up by their audio.
Hello?
No. I can hear. Hold on. Can you hear the voices?
Upstairs, he has a strange encounter that freaks him out.
Could you do something else but closer and inside this room, please?
Here it is again from another angle.
Could you do something else but closer and inside this room, please?
Oh man.
What do you think buzzed past him? Was it just a bug, as some in the comments suspect, or something of the paranormal variety? Considering the voices they heard earlier, I think he was actually feeling the buzz of paranormal energy. Number 5. So years ago, I analyzed a creepy video of a mysterious handprint found in this family's haunted home in a hard-to-reach area really high up in the corner above the stairs. Years later, their house still appears to be haunted as ever.
This wall has since been painted, and the exact same print is still there.
Okay, so the wall does in fact look to be painted a different color. The original video has a yellow wall and now it's gray. It's the same distance from the ceiling and has the same impossibly long fingers extending from an oblong palm, more like the paw print of a creature than that of a human. So I guess the work of a demon is not out of the question. With that said, I guess they could have stenciled the handprint and recreated it over the new paint job, but that seems like a lot of work and there should be some mistakes. The handprints in the two videos looks nearly identical to me, and therefore I think this follow-up video is probably paranormal. And judging from their evidence, it looks like this paranormal entity, ghost, demon, whatever you want to call it, is not going to stop haunting their home anytime soon. This creepy Randonautica led YouTuber Jasco Vlogs to Devil's Forest, and he was met with this mysterious call of the wild.
I don't know. Trying to see if there's any. Bro? What was that?
I don't know what that was, but it sounded afraid. They then find this bizarre shelter.
Alright. Looks like someone built some type of shelter here or something. I don't know what. Or maybe it's just...
What is it for? Jasco is right that it's not natural. Shortly after, they feel like they're being followed.
Walking towards us right now. I don't know if it's that same person, but let's get out of here.
While I'm uncertain if they are or not, I do think it's smart to put some distance between them and that mysterious shelter. A YouTuber named Nugget Noggin is exploring an old abandoned home one evening somewhere in the deep south. He's been here only once before, and it gave him such a strange and foreboding feeling that he couldn't take it anymore and he had to leave. Now he's mustered up enough courage to come back and check out the rest of the house. He wants to get up to the second floor.
Alright, I got this little door here to keep the air from rising up, I reckon. I don't know. Could be somebody up there. Oh man, somebody's standing on it. Because I sure can't lift it up.
Much to his dismay, he finds a door has been laid over the top of the stairway so that nobody can get through. He tries to push on the horizontal door. One moment, it feels as if a heavy force is standing on top of it, and the next moment, the weight is suddenly gone, and Nugget Noggin can get upstairs. Some rooms give him the same weird feeling that made him flee before. He remembers that the front door was kicked in. Possibly someone broke in. Maybe a family was living here long ago, and things did not end well for them.
Won't be able to sleep. Look, there's a light on in there. That's odd. There's a mirror. You know what time it is?
Nugget Noggin doesn't find much else and leaves. When he's reviewing the footage, however, he does notice what could be the face of a small girl. Take a look at this picture and tell me if it looks like anything paranormal to you. Paranormal Lone Star thinks they've spotted some strange activity while exploring the basement of the old Stanford Inn in Stanford, Texas. Down here is where an entity named Ernest is said to haunt. First, they find his saw.
Looks like it had a saw right there.
Oh, wow. That's
the rest.
creepy.
That's the rest on the...
Then they find Ernest, or so it seems.
Not like in the script. Be good.
The saw is no doubt real because there is still a nail where it used to hang on the wall. But as for Ernest, the ghost sighting, I'm not so sure. You can hear the paranormal investigators in the room, so it wasn't them. But it could have been a third person dressed in black pretending to be a real ghost caught on camera. A man is driving down a haunted road in Hawaii when he sees a pale beige orb on the left side of his camera.
No idea what that is on my screen. It looks like a ball of light on the left.
I thought it was just his finger until I realized it was semi-transparent and slightly changing shape.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I have no clue. There's nothing there.
Watch this part and you'll see there's no way that this is his thumb. His passenger points at something on the side of the right, and their hand actually appears in front of the orb. The weird circle continues to hover in the corner for a full 3 minutes. It does not fade or go away even when they pull over, turn off the lights, and step out of the car into darkness.
It's still there. It's moving. It's still on the left. And I don't know what that...
If you have any idea how an orb could stay so plainly visible even without a light source, then let me know because I am honestly stumped. Become a storm chaser or head to the cellar. This homeowner did both when the Cedar Rapids derecho storm blew into his neighborhood. Published to YouTube by E. Hindman in August of 2020. This footage shows a quick as lightning storm roll in, one that devastated Iowa for hundreds of miles around. Hinman said he daringly took some footage of the storm out his window, setting up a camera there before safeguarding himself in the basement. What he captured was half an hour of one of the most brutal storms you'll ever see. The video shows the storm rile up ferociously, wind and rain whipping through while tree branches roll like tumbleweed down the road. At some point the trees are just being thrown full stop. The sturdy looking pine that stands in Hinman's Hyndman's front yard, which has made it this far, doesn't make it out alive. Its stump breaks clean in half and another larger tree falls across the yard. They are blown away with the others. Hyndman writes, the damage in this area of Iowa was like being hit by a 40-mile wide tornado. The storm took 4 lives, cut off power to nearly the entire city, contributed to the record-tying $16 billion worth of weather damage that impacted the US last year, according to the Washington Post. This one might be harder to hear, but it's worth it. While investigating, YouTubers Ghost Dimension heard something strange at Newtown Park Hospital in Liverpool, England. Listen closely.
I can understand the intention, but not like our language. Oh my god, like tongues? Yeah, that's Poltergeist, that. Is it? A foreign tongue. And a growl.
First, they hear voices in a foreign tongue, and as they listen, they hear a snap. A little later, they hear more unexplained sounds.
Yeah. I heard that. Yes. I heard that. I'm getting a bad feeling. Oh, don't, please don't. No, I am.
To me, it sounds like distant footsteps and voices. And then, immediately after Neil asks if anyone is there, you can hear a subtle humming.
Anyone there? Should we go upstairs? Do we go up or down? Or is that woman's downstairs? Should we go? Yeah.
And as they're about to head downstairs, they hear an undeniable racket from the basement. When the sound gets louder, they hightail it upstairs.
Yeah. That's not good. Should we go up then? Yeah. Come on, go. Neil, stay with me. Neil. Neil, there's something behind us.
There was definitely something in that haunted hospital with them. I'm not sure if it was paranormal or perhaps another group of investigators, but hearing it without seeing anything put me on edge. Imagine playing hide and seek with a mysterious cult. Published by Lego Papa TV in March of 2020. This scary video shows a cultish encounter at a house where lives were taken. Lego arrives at the house that he plans to explore on this fateful night. It looks 100% haunted. He tours the house, arriving at a bathroom in which he says the 71-year-old woman who lived here would take the lives of her victims. He says she buried them in her backyard. As he's about to head upstairs, he hears something, but he assumes it was just animals.
Probably animals, because I poop here.
Once he gets up there, though, he hears more noise.
Hello?
While using the spirit box on his phone to try and communicate with the passed away in the bathroom, he sees a flashlight beam hit the wall. When he turns around, he sees many beams of light, and he thinks it could be police, other urban explorers, or maybe something even more nefarious. So he rushes upstairs and hides in another bathroom. Shortly after, he sees flashlight beams on the wall and hears footsteps. They apparently don't see him. After waiting in the darkness for a time, he sneaks downstairs, and while in the basement, he hears more evidence that he's not alone in the house. Footsteps sound on the floor above. He gets out of there as quickly as possible and does manage to escape. When finally safely outside, he turns back to look at the house. They are looking for him, whoever they are. Lego writes, "This is probably the scariest moment of my life. I have no doubt about that." Sonny Deeds and his friend CJ venture onto this abandoned military base and its haunted trail. First, they hear what they think are voices.
Yeah, what the... yes. I don't know. That's what caught my attention.
Was that voices?
Because when you turned around and were looking back that way, I was doing the same thing. I heard whatever you heard.
A little further down the path, again, they hear something.
Oh, is that you making noise behind us?
No, I was talking, but I wasn't making any noise. What'd you hear?
Sounds like
And then they feel something.
Yeah, we're almost back to back. What the is that? What?
Sunny sees something, and in the background, you can hear what sounds like growling.
Oh, dude. Yeah, no, there's some. I don't know if somebody's trying to, but it's not. But there's somebody across the road.
Just keep on walking. There's something in the left of the wood. Just stop.
Then they hear footsteps, and then a strange growling noise.
Dude, I hear somebody walking, and it's not our freaking footsteps.
Okay, then definitely keep on.
And finally, this sends them running.
Yeah, it's just weird, dude. It's weird out here. Just the whole history of everything. Like I said, it's supposed to be. What? Oh my God! I can't see.
Something cracked in the forest, and as Sunny turns left, you can see some strange lights there. Watch it again. Did you see them? I think they may be lights from whoever is following the guys, or maybe they're just reflectors on some fences. It's hard to tell, but the noises are a sure thing, and they're unsettling. Predator combat drone is conducting a routine patrol when suddenly something huge and fast enters its airspace. What appears to be some kind of unidentified flying object streaks by the drone. In a gigantic burst of white light, the drone turns around to scan the area, but whatever zoomed past is now long gone. Unfortunately, no further footage was recovered. I don't know if the lack of information surrounding this video is a sign that it's fake, or it means the military simply isn't saying anything. The unidentified flying object could be CGI, but outside of that possibility, what you are watching could very well be our first contact with very technologically advanced extraterrestrials. An unnamed European castle is the subject of investigation on a ghost hunting YouTube channel called Paranormal Mystery. They are hastily setting up a CCTV system for the evening's investigation when they realize the battery is being drained from all of them really fast. But right before the cameras power down, they manage to capture this ghost on CCTV. A ghost walks by and dissipates before it reaches the last step. I don't know if this is computer editing, but the way it slowly shrinks and then goes away is more complex than a simple fade out shot. This video was taken in 2008, so the video quality is actually quite good and still holds up to this day. Their surprised reactions make me think this could be real. This video, taken from a YouTuber named Finder Lurker, is from 2005. He is certain of a paranormal entity frequenting an area of the house that no one uses, so he sets up a camera and leaves. In the beginning of the video, you can see these two small eyes in the background, which is definitely weird, but it's nothing compared to what happens next. Arms appear from all sides, and then this head pokes out from around the corner. Its eyes white pinpricks of light and nothing more. One arm stays above them as if waving hello. It quickly disappears from wherever it came from, and then the camera begins to shake, eventually becoming dislodged and toppling over. It does feel a little too set up in my opinion, but whether all of this was an actual ghost or just some kids messing around is ultimately up to you to decide. A man named John Crawford casually walks around a Walmart in Beaver Creek, Ohio, well armed. Here you can see him standing in an aisle on the right side of the screen.
Gun in the store. Is he got it pulled out?
Yeah, he's like pointing at people.
What does he look like?
The 911 caller grows more nervous with each passing moment and tells the operator that the situation is growing dire.
I don't know what he's just like looking around, waving it. He looks like he's just trying to load it.
He's just trying to load it?
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Soon a family of 3 walks down the same aisle as John Crawford and starts checking out some animals for sale. This is where the 911 call gets kind of strange.
My name is Ronald Ritchie. He just pointed at like 2 children.
Okay.
Watch the video again and you'll see that John never really aims at the kids. In fact, the family barely reacts to his presence, and I'm not sure if they even notice him at all. One of them hangs around a bit longer before leaving, so I wouldn't say they were exactly in distress, but the way the 911 caller describes the man and his actions understandably has the police on edge. An officer arrives on the scene expecting trouble, and a brief altercation ensues. The surprised suspect is laid to rest on the spot after police thought he was going to attack. As it turns out, John Crawford was simply buying an airsoft at Walmart on that day. The person who called 911 did not get in any trouble, but many now agree he was overreacting. Let me know if you would have called the police based on what you've seen on this CCTV video. 2 friends unlock the door to an unfinished attic and step inside. Their single flashlight briefly shines across a mattress that nearly takes up the entire space. As they ponder what all of this means, a force pushes them over and the room goes dark. When the flashlight kicks back on, one of them gets off the ground on unsteady feet.
What's wrong? What? Just go. Go?
I think there's a possibility they could be acting, but then again, maybe a spirit is bound to the mattress and doesn't take kindly to intruders. Onasiolio Rojas uses Facebook Live to record himself doing 115 miles per hour on the highway in Providence, Rhode Island, blasting loud music the entire time. He thinks nothing of swerving in and out of traffic, cutting off cars over and over again while going breakneck speeds. His high-speed escapade only lasts about 2 minutes before he cuts into the shoulder and fails to pull off a quick 2-lane change.
Got it, puppy.
What you don't see in the final moments of this video is the garbage truck slamming into him from behind, sending Onasi into the concrete barrier and then into a dead stop in the middle of the road. He survived and was sentenced to 6 months of house arrest, followed by 6 months of probation. Based on this video, tell me if you think he has received a fair sentence. A man is holding very still with his arm out at an odd angle. That's because he doesn't want to attract the wrath of this dangerous little fellow who somehow slithered into a scary situation. He is helpless as his friend carefully pinches his sleeve to determine where the snake is. He makes a cutting motion with his free hand to tell his friend what to do, not wanting to alert the snake with the vibrations of his voice. Once they carefully cut away the sleeve, you can see the snake is curled around his right bicep and in no hurry to leave. The mouth is right by his arm and it would take less than a second to strike with fangs. They wisely pull open the sleeve with the scissors to distract the snake and get its head away from his arm, but there's not enough room, so they need to cut more. By now, the snake is getting upset, so with no time left, they reach in and scoop him out. I guess they could have done that the whole time, but it was much too risky to be a first option. Take a look at its markings and tell me what kind of snake this is. I'm guessing by the way they handle it with such extreme caution that it has to be venomous. This is apparently police dash cam footage from Arizona. The officer is clearly on highway patrol at night, and after a short while, he takes a turn down a dirt road. This is where he spots a woman standing alone in the road with some small embers near her feet. Though it originally appears she is standing with her back turned to the police officer. Soon after, she lifts up her arms, and there appears to be 2 glowing eyes facing the officer. The footage ends shortly after with no further further explanation. I searched but couldn't find any footage of the incident after this part, so we may never know what happened next to this officer or this woman with glowing eyes. This intruder can walk through walls. Posted to the r/ghost video subreddit. A scary figure was captured on Redditor Ale Oops Friends surveillance feed at around 1 in the morning. The video shows a dark and empty yard. At first, nothing appears unusual, but watch the back doorway. About 30 seconds in, a pale figure can be seen walking from left to right. You can see it outlined in the dark doorway, but if you look closely, it actually shows up seconds before, appearing semi-transparent as it walks past the exterior wall and turns into the doorway, disappearing inside the house. While some in the comments think a genuine spirit has been captured, others suggest it's a combination of a prowler and a distortion from the cheap night vision camera. Honestly though, either is terrifying. Roofers in Miami, Florida have a creepy encounter with some scary creatures hiding among us. One of them removes the shingle and has only seconds to get away from these creepy creatures of the night caught on camera. After some more investigating, they discovered to their horror that the bats are not coming from a hole in the house, but are rather nestled under each shingle by the dozens. Suddenly, the removal job has become a lot more complicated and beyond creepy, as they have to pry open each area without getting in the way of awakening bats. At 8 minutes and 15 seconds, bats are flying into this guy's face and threatening to knock him off balance. Eventually, it looks like they've gotten rid of them all, but just knowing that I'm one shingle away from a face full of bats would probably be scary enough to make me find another company to work for, and possibly another career altogether. You're exploring a dark underground mine, water dripping, echo, silence, and then you hear this. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Resurrect. The Redditor was on an adventure through the Disido mine in Arizona when he heard what he describes as footsteps on wood coming from deep within the tunnel. He says he and his crew were the only ones there at the time. Would you hightail it out of there or wait to see who or what was approaching? Well, most in the comments are already racing for the hills. Redditor JD250 offers a potential explanation. He writes, "When I was a kid, I lived up in Tennessee right on an old mine used by the town for storing stuff in the early 1800s, and I would hear sounds like these." Although JD says that he doesn't personally believe in ghosts, he admits to sensing the presence of pain and suffering in a place. On another note, the Redditor felt angry and hostile vibes in the place and insisted that it felt like something terrible had occurred in that mine, and he didn't want to know what it was. He also notes that his stepfather felt he couldn't breathe at one point, and not from overexertion. Do you think this could be explained naturally, or is something haunting this mining tunnel? Wherever you stand, myself and most agree that this is one of the creepiest videos posted. An outdoor restaurant is about to be creepy, and it's all caught on CCTV tape. This top right couple seems to be having an intense conversation. At 10 seconds, there's some chest pounding on both sides. It looks like a bad breakup or something until 25 seconds when he stands up and is ready to storm out, but then points at the food lodged in his throat. They weren't having an argument at all. He was slowly becoming more and more unable to breathe. She starts patting him on the back, but apparently this is a big mistake. I am not giving any medical advice, but the Mayo Clinic says not to do this unless you're trained to deliver a special back blow between the shoulder blades. From what I've read, patting someone on the back can sometimes make the food move further down the windpipe and get even more stuck. A brave restaurant worker gets behind him, makes a fist with one hand slightly above the belly button, grabs his fist and gives a a quick upward thrust as if picking him off the ground for a moment. This is called the Heimlich maneuver, and it's a good thing somebody in the restaurant knew it. Most states have laws in place for restaurant staff to have this kind of training, and this scary scenario caught on tape is exactly why. I encourage everyone to get the proper training because you never know when this could happen to someone nearby, maybe even you. There must be no scarier feeling than having an entire crowd watch you helplessly while you can't breathe. This man who helped him is truly a hero. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Ramsey Rocks 2023, this redditor wrote, UFO over my yard in Kings Mountain, North Carolina. My neighbor called me over as I was out walking my dog and he was filming this. It made no sound. You can hear him talking in the background. He handed me the phone because he was shaking so hard. Traffic went by on the road as if we were the only ones who saw this. Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about.
Okay, what the? I don't have. Okay, gang, I don't know what I'm looking at here. Just in there, over the trees in my backyard right now. You can hear the crickets and stuff. The cars going by. What the is that? Holy.
There was certainly a wide array of opinions about this video in the comments. It's just hearsay wrote, nice footage, while other alternative 75 wrote, those are Elon Musk's SpaceX satellites. Which side are you on here? Unidentified flying object or satellite? Let me know in the comments. Number 30. Some souls darken the doorways of haunted homes. Others grow as bright as they lived. Published by Sajid Hussein in August of 2021. This Nest Cam caught an unusual anomaly on this dark street at night. The video shows a vibrant figure glowing in the yard opposite the camera. The bright figure appears to be moving. It radiates well still for a moment before moving in a flash to a position about a foot away. The light then dims before glowing brightly again. It then enters into the street, glowing and spreading like fire. Throughout this, at times it looks like one entity and at other times two. At the end of the clip, the light subsides and disappears altogether. Where did the spirit go? Maybe this is the moment it crossed over. Zishan Sheikh is fooling people with a scream mask all night until he goes a little too far. He's sitting in the road with his back turned when he scares the driver of this vehicle unconscious. I don't know if it's staged or if this person had some kind of heart condition and passed out. I'm not even sure he is still alive at this point. Either way, this YouTuber cradles the person's body in his arms and prays. It's unclear what happens next. The fact that they immediately stopped recording makes me think this stranger's reaction could be real. Thank you so much for getting me to 50,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 60,000 subscribers next. Thank you.